I have been looking for this PlayStation 2 game for ages. Hey all, and welcome back to the channel, Wizbit's Random Gaming, with a little bit of bonus content here. Let's get straight into it and see what this game is that I've been looking for ages. At least a mint copy, or a really good copy. Let's see what I've got here today, and hopefully it's in really good condition. So it's looking promising. And the game in question is Nightshade on the PlayStation 2. Now this is the official sequel to Shinobi on the PlayStation 2, and one that I've always struggled to find a really nice copy of. Anyway, let's have a little chat about the PlayStation 2 version of Shinobi and its lesser known sequel that you see here today. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Wizbit's Random Gaming. And as you've just seen there, it's a bit of a CEX Roulette, and it's paid off. I've been after that game, Nightshade, complete in box and a nice condition one, for absolutely ages. It's never really in stock that often in CEX, but I saw on a Facebook post the other day that someone had traded in a PS2, pretty much a heavy hitting collection. And Nightshade was amongst that collection, and it looked in great condition. So I went straight to the app, jumped on there, had a look, and amazingly there was two complete in box ones in stock. So I'm thinking, wow, will I get the one that I've just seen on Facebook, or am I going to get one that might be a little bit battered? It's possible both of them was in really good condition. But either way, really happy to have Nightshade in the collection. This was £65, fairly expensive for a PlayStation 2 game. There are obviously a lot more expensive ones out there, but it's not a cheap game nevertheless. Now it comes with manual's in great condition, and a rather boring looking PlayStation disc, as you can see there. Talking to my friend Dylan last night, aka Hyper Trigger X. If you haven't already, check him out on YouTube. Got a great collection. He knows his stuff. Big up Dylan. He has got the Japanese version of this, which is titled differently, and the disc is a lot more sexy, shall we just say. We discussed it slightly today, and the UK version, just like the UK, is slightly dull. It's a fair comparison. But yeah, Nightshade, what's it all about? Well, it's the sequel to a fairly uncommon version of Shinobi by Sega. Now, I remember picking up that game years and years ago. I've got some sort of strange memory of that game because in my early 20s, I remember I used to suffer with problems with my ears, and it went on for years and years. Doctors weren't really prepared to look at my ears. I think they were scared of some sort of lawsuit. I don't know, I was in my early 20s, late teens. I didn't care about lawsuits then. I had no idea about it. I just wanted my ears fixed. And eventually I just stormed into my GP, and we had a big argument. And my ear, because I couldn't stop tampering with it because of the problems I was having with my hearing at the time, I caused my ear to bleed. Now, I didn't tell the doctor that. I told him it was down to them. They got a bit panicky, and that same day they got me an appointment in London up by King's Cross to the Ears, Nose and Throat Hospital. Now, I went down there that day, and I've got vivid memories of it. Went down there, they had a look at my ears. I remember I had a polo shirt on that was like white with some stripes on, and it wasn't raining that day, it was bone dry. They done something to my ear, yeah, but the pain was so intense what they did that I just broke out into a massive sweat, and my shirt was absolutely dripping wet. That's all I can remember. I went home, feeling slightly relieved, but I wasn't sure if they'd actually resolved my problem. They didn't actually tell me what they'd done. They just said, yep, all taken care of. They did tell me that there was a rip in the liner, which was caused by a nurse, a trainee nurse apparently, that was looking in my ears a couple of weeks earlier. But it wasn't serious. That's all I can recall. So I remember it was just one of those days, you know, you could just remember a whole day, but you can't remember what happened last week. It's what happens as you get older. And I remember going to King's Cross Station. There used to be a KFC there. I bought KFC on the way home, and I can't for the life of me remember what shop I bought this in. There must have been something local, but I picked up Shinobi on the PlayStation 2. I went home, started playing it. Didn't really play too much. I was quite tired. It was quite an ordeal that day. And I went to bed. And you know what? The next day I woke up and it was such a relief. I woke up and my ears were, I'm not going to say perfect, but the problem had gone. You know, they were recovering, and that's all I wanted. And I felt so comfortable all of a sudden. And I sat there that day. I said, I'm not going out anywhere. I'm just going to sit, let my ears recuperate. I'm not going to take a risk. I want to stay home, and I'm just going to play Shinobi on the PlayStation 2. And play it I did, but you know what? It's balls hard. It's such a difficult game. For me anyway. Someone out there might say differently, but I thought it was an absolutely ruthless game in terms of the difficulty, in terms of the control method. You actually run along the walls in this one. It's not like your traditional Shinobi, your 2D. This one is going to be, it's more of a 3D environment, obviously, with the PS2 era. I will show some footage as we go along of that game. But yeah, great memories for that game. Now, I sold that collection on years and years ago. I think I sold a lot of my PlayStation 2 stuff as I was buying music equipment at the time. So that probably went with that collection. Now, I did pick it up a couple years back from Woolwich CEX. And I think it was around about £25-30. I think it's gone up in price since. But I'm happy to say I've got a copy of it. And I have been playing it since I purchased it again. Not recently. And I'm happy to say it's still balls hard. Either that or I'm still rubbish. Could be either one, it could be both. So yeah, I've always been on the lookout for the sequel, which is Nightshade. Now this is the more expensive of the two, the more rare of the two games, although you don't see Shinobi too often. Now I've read reports that this sold less than 120,000 units worldwide, and that's quite a poor number when you consider how big the world is. So yeah, that's why I'm guessing we didn't get no further Shinobi sequels for quite some time. So I'm going to put some gameplay up of this one as well as we go along, but I'm really looking forward to checking this game out. I'm going to be playing it over the weekend, and it's a similar kind of gameplay to the first one. I think there's a couple of added mechanics from what I remember. You know, a kick. Apparently there's a kick added. But I'm really looking forward to checking this one out. I'm really, really pleased with the condition of it. It's like it's just come off of a shop shelf. So, you know, spun that wheel. It is the roulette. And yeah, today we have won. Yeah, really, really happy to have this one in the collection. Let me know if you've played the original Shinobi on the PlayStation 2, what your thoughts are. Also, let me know if you've got this one as well, and if you have, is it a better game than the original? Is it still as difficult in your opinion as I feel the original Shinobi on the PlayStation 2 is? Anyway guys, thanks for watching as always. If you happen to like the channel, the content, please take the time to consider hitting that subscribe button below. Give us a like, give us a share, get involved in the comments. It's always great to hear your thoughts, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care for now.